Seafood HACCP course presentation. 123foodhandler.com. Chapter 11. Principle number 7. Record-keeping procedures. In this chapter you will learn what records are needed, how to develop appropriate records, how to conduct a record review, and how computerized records may be used. There are 6 types of records needed in a HACCP system. The HACCP plan and supporting documentation, like your hazard analysis worksheet, process description, flowchart, CCP monitoring records, corrective action records, verification, validation records, sanitation control records for the 8 key sanitation areas, and if you import, importer verification records. Records are extremely important. Let's look at the HACCP plan and its supporting documentation. Here's some examples of HACCP plan supporting documents. Data from published scientific studies, data from implant studies conducted by a processing authority, data from equipment manufacturers or other authorities, data gathered in the preliminary steps such as process description, flowchart, prerequisite programs including sanitation control procedures, and written hazard analysis worksheets. If you have a significant hazard, then you're going to have a CCP. If you have a CCP, then you need monitoring records. HACCP monitoring records are used to document that food safety hazards have been controlled at each CCP. There are requirements within the seafood HACCP regulation that require specific information on your HACCP monitoring records, such as the title of the record, like shellfish receiving log, the firm name and location, product identification if applicable, lot, code, things of that nature, date and time of monitoring observation, actual measurement or observation taken, signature or initials of the person performing the monitoring activity, and signature of the trained person reviewing the monitoring record and date of the review. All monitoring records must be reviewed within 7 days of the creation of that document. If there is a deviation from a critical limit at a critical control point, a corrective action is required. There are 3 parts to corrective action. Number 1, take care of the food. Number 2, restore the process. And number 3, a corrective action record or document. Is what we're doing good enough, and how do we know? Because we have verification records. Verification records document the results of accuracy checks and calibration of process monitoring instruments, record reviews, laboratory test results, in-plant studies or challenge tests, audits, and inspections. Can we have electronic or computerized records? Yes, as long as the electronic or computerized monitoring records are equivalent to the paper records and handwritten signatures, and you're in compliance with Title 21, Part 11, which I've attached for review. Some of the things covered in Title 21, Part 11 would be authentic, accurate, and protected records, provide accurate and complete copies of records, a system where you protect the records for later retrieval. You would limit access only to authorized individuals, provide a secure record audit trail, and even though they're electronic, we still must implement some type of review process of these electronic records. So an effective electronic record program would include all these. There are many types of records required within a HACCP program. I've attached various types of records that may be used in a HACCP program within the presentation, as well as downloadable PDFs for your review. Attached, you'll see an annual thermal process validation report that you could have on file to prove that your cooking processes were adequate to control certain pathogens within your operation. Well, we know the cooking process was okay, but how about the equipment? Well, here's an annual thermal equipment validation report proving that the equipment itself is accurate. Records. Without a record, it probably wasn't done. That's the general thinking. Some go as far as to say, if you don't have a record, you didn't do it. Written records provide documentation of the HACCP plan and demonstrate the critical limits have been met and appropriate corrective actions and verification procedures have been taken. Well, enough talking. Let's get back to work. 18 steps to the HACCP plan. We left off at step 16 of the 18 steps to a HACCP plan. The 18 steps to a HACCP plan can be found in the Fish and Fishery Products Hazards and Controls Guide, Chapter 2. 18 steps to a HACCP plan. Get your practice exercise. We are working on the HACCP plan. Step 17. Establish record-keeping procedures. Continue with the same control strategy you chose for your hazards. Populate the records section of your practice exercise HACCP plan form. Don't forget monitoring and corrective action records. 18 steps to a HACCP plan. Complete the records section on your practice exercise. Remember, this will be submitted for course credit. Before moving on, be sure to update your HACCP plan form. We have now completed 17 steps of the 18 steps to a HACCP plan, found in Chapter 2 of the Fish and Fishery Products Hazards and Controls Guide. This concludes Chapter 11. Please complete the following quiz before you go on to the next chapter.